Hello. Welcome back, everyone. How you guys doing?
We're good. How are you?
Pretty good. Pretty freaking tired.
We can't be tired every time. We can't. Oh my god.
I know, does it make you sad? Like, what are they doing to us? Why are we tired?
What are they doing to us?
Where's the energy at?
I actually feel fine for once.
Thank God.
Yeah,
See,
so
Alright, exhausted.
see,
not
we're
tired.
good. We're good. And I'm tired, but I'll be fine.
I'm very
It'll be
exhausted.
fine. Yeah, guys. I mean, you know, we've said this 1,000 times. We work retail. We do this after work almost all the time. Our days off never sync up. But that's okay, because no matter what, we still come back to you guys and give you kisses on the forehead, and I give you kisses at the end of every episode, and I'm going to still continue to do that. So if you guys are ready to strap in for another loving episode of Karma and Tranquility, I'm ready to give you guys some more kisses. Welcome.
This took a dark turn.
Welcome, Dark. Welcome to Karma and Tranquility.
Alright, so yeah, I have a question for you guys. I was thinking about this earlier. I don't want you to think about it too deeply, because I don't want the answer to be, like, perfect. But, like, what song title, it could be any genre, would describe your life right now?
Okay, so
what's going on?
It doesn't have to be a specific song, but a genre.
Yeah, well, no, it has to be a song, but, like, it could be any genre.
I can't give you a song, but I can give you a genre.
Okay, I'll take that.
My life right now is like a ska thing. it's just all over the place. It's
Ska?
not. Yeah, do you know what ska is?
No.
Oh gosh, okay. We gotta.
Here we go.
We gotta show.
Strap
Will
in for a
ska.
second time.
Yeah. So you'll
gotta
once I
demonstrate
play
it.
it, you'll. I can't. How do you demonstrate?
You got it. You
ska?
can't play it.
I
It's
can't.
copyright.
No.
Do it with your mouth, like...
I can't. I can't make 87 different sounds with my mouth.
It's like
can't.
zabadoo-wah, zekababada,
Is it like
yagadoo-wah.
jazz? Like-
Yeah. No, it's what I just did. It's kind of like what the ghost in Big Mouth, Duke Ellington does. He's like
yeah.
dabbity-doo.
I-
It's
no,
like that.
I meant more-
They take their hat and they go like this, and they
Yeah.
have a cane and shit.
I meant more like punk ska, where
Oh.
shit, you know what I'm talking
that
about?
was way off.
But yeah, Duke Ellington, sure.
It's
Yeah.
spelled
we'll-
S-K-A, ska.
Yeah,
Yeah, ska.
We'll
No,
show
scat. It's like, yeah, it's like...
you. No, that's the
man.
whatever. Jared, what do you have? What's
Well, I didn't
yours?
even get to think of the answer because I was busy making fun of your answer. Oh my god.
We should do a whole episode of just scat sounds.
At least a genre.
It's
A genre.
literally, and this contradicts what I said earlier. It's "I'm So Tired" by the Beatles. That's all I am.
I don't know that song.
I'm so tired, I haven't slept a wink. It's off the White Album.
Okay.
Do you actually not know that song?
No, I didn't know that song. Maybe if I heard the proper version of that.
That is pretty damn proper.
I know, but like with the music, playing
Oh
it
my
right
god!
that
All
was
right,
just
guys.
acapella.
Instead of the Strokes and Arctic Monkeys, we're gonna do the Beatles. I'm so tired for 45 minutes.
change of plans.
Here we go. And yeah. Anywho, did you have an answer for your own question?
Yeah, I feel like it's not fair because I had all day to think about this.
Just do it.
Right now, feeling like a Pink Floyd Comfortably Numb. Just like, chilling, just...
But that's sad. That's
yeah, I'm
something we
sad,
gotta
man.
dig deep in. We don't got time
Comfortably
for
numb.
it though.
Well, this is like a form of therapy for me, talking about music, but like, nah, we ain't got time for that. Rip.
Give us the short version.
Right, get it.
do
There's
you mean?
always some time.
What's short
What do
version?
you got?
Why are you numb?
Life. It's like, I want to do things, and life is like, nah, you gotta wait. Or like, nah,
I get that. I
you
do get
can't.
it.
I'm like, how dare you tell me now? If I want.
Well, we were just talking about that a little bit earlier. We were like trying to figure out. I don't know what the fuck we're doing or I'm doing.
Right.
At least I feel that way. I can't speak for Manny, but I'm with you, Will.
I
I'm
don't like
with you.
being told no. I like doing what I want to do. As long as no
You
one gets hurt.
just gotta keep going, man. That's
Yeah.
it. Just keep going. Keep working. You can't stop what never stops trying. Just keep trying. You'll get there.
Wise man.
All right. Keep the tears. It's all right.
Wise
guys.
man, Fred. Okay. Firmly grasp it. All right. That was a good intro, guys. That was pretty damn funny. I can't wait to listen to this one over. Also, I need to stop saying like, because I listened to our last episode and it made me physically fucking ill how many times I said like. I'm pretty good with the ums. Like, I can like think of... Fuck. I just did it. But getting rid of the likes is going to be very hard. So I need to try to stop saying like. So I'm going to try. Anyway.
You don't even say like that often in like personal.
No, but when
conversations.
I start speaking about something quickly and like passionately, I like don't think.
You
Fuck!
just-
See, what am I gonna do?
You just did it
What am I
twice
gonna
in the
do?
same
no,
sentence.
No, what am I gonna do?
And you could put a shot collar on you.
All right, guys, we got another big one today.
Yes, we do.
On the Strokes side. We're gonna start with the Strokes this time. We started with the Arctic Monkeys last time. We have got Last Night and Riot Van today. It's gonna be another kind of wave of what's the word I'm thinking about? Tempos for today. Last Night, guys. It is their highest streaming song. It has a whopping 591.8 million streams. It is the most streamed Strokes song on Spotify, I should be specific, which surprised me personally because I feel like Hard to Explain would probably be the one, or Reptilia, but it's not. It's Last Night. So that it confuses me a little bit, but that's truth. It's fact. It's right there. This was released October 23rd, 2001. It was the second single from their debut album, Is This It?, with the B-side When It Started. It actually had a B-side. This does have a demo version, which we'll talk about a little bit. I don't want to get too much into some of these details. I'll get into some of the rankings so you guys can hear this. Number 9 on the Indie Greatest Anthems Ever. Number 478, Rolling Stone Greatest Songs of All Time out of 500. So kind of high up there, but still on a list of 500 best songs of all time. Number 6 on NME's Best Strokes. So like that list I was telling you about, Best Stroke Song, it was number 6. This song went platinum in the US, UK, Spain, Portugal, and Australia. And that's, here we go. NME placed it at number 1 on the top 50 greatest tracks of the decade in 2006. It was the first single to enter American charts, reading top 5 in US modern rock and number 1 in UK indie. It seems like the Strokes did better in the UK in their early days for some reason than they did in the US, which is weird. But we are going to give this guy a listen before I get into some of the more like deeper stuff here. Are you guys ready to listen to Last Night by the Strokes?
Always.
Let's do it. All right, Scallywags, that was Last Night by the Strokes. This is a well-known song by all of us, well-known song from all the Strokes fans out there. It is one that it's well-known from all music fans, I think. We just watched the video in the background as well. Pretty simple. They're playing it live. They got random cuts of things that I didn't understand. It was like for like a millisecond. We had Julian do his classic bowling microphone thing. We had Albert doing his thing where he does his spins on his guitar really fast. Mm-hmm. It was just like, and when you look at Julian on this video, he looks like a beautiful little boy, little baby boy, Julian.
He does look really young. They all do.
Yeah.
Fab.
Yeah.
Fab looks like you can't even see his face.
Yeah,
like
and he was going ham on those drums, and you can't really like. You can hear it in the song, but he looked like he was going much harder in that music video.
He looks super young. It looks like he's like 17. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. He looks incredibly young. Anyway, guys, how long has it been since you listened to that song?
Not that long. Fuck, I hear it every now and then.
Yeah, it's like it's pretty common. So
that's why I asked, because it is one of the most heard Stroke songs I hear like all the time somewhere, whether it's at a restaurant or a store or something. It's usually this one or Someday.
Right. I do hear it in restaurants a lot, actually.
I feel like this is the main one I hear like somehow, like out on the radio or something.
Somewhere. Yeah.
So it makes sense. There's a couple tidbits I have on this song, but Will, I don't want to step on your toes. I know you had some research as well. What do you got to share?
Yeah, let me see.
If you want me to go first, I can.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, American Girl by Tom Petty was the inspiration from the opening. I don't know if you guys know that song, but the intro for that song does sound a lot like that song. So I can play it for you if you don't know, but it was a big inspiration there. Tom Petty actually said the Strokes took American Girl for Last Night. There was an interview that took place with them where they actually admitted it that made me laugh out loud. I was like, okay, good for you. It doesn't bother me. That's what Tom Petty said. And that wasn't in a snarky way, because he later invited them to open for Tom Petty on the 2006 tour, which I did not know. Because I can't, if you put those two names together, I would have never been able to be like, Oh, that's a thing.
Right.
So that's cool. The solo was inspired by Freddie King. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but I think when I did my research, it has to do with B.B. King, the famous musician.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool. I already went over all the stuff about the rankings and stuff. The music video, you'll see where Julian throws his microphone is later referenced in a clip in the Undercover of Darkness when he says everybody's singing the same song for 10 years. So he does that in the Undercover of Darkness video too. So that's a thing about him throwing the microphone. And the SNL performance, this is my last thing, guys. We have to watch that SNL performance that I shared. We'll have to check that out in a second. But that's some interesting tidbits about the song that I could find. Will, you got some stuff?
Yeah. Little tidbit. I don't really got that much facts from it. This like I said, this is a hard era to get a lot of facts from. This is like when we were first starting.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say like the solo is probably one of my favorite off of this whole album.
If we're done with it, let's just get into what we thought.
Yeah.
That's
I don't have
we're
much
good. We're
facts on
good.
this.
Yeah, I'm not a big fact person. I just know that some people told us they like, and I like the numbers and stuff. So like, we're gonna give you all the facts, guys. We'll give you the juicy facts. But now let's get into what we thought about it. That's where we thrive. What do you think?
I think this is one of the best solos from this album. The whole EP album, whatever you want to say it. I think Last Night has the best solo out of all of them.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a hot take.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have a hot take sound here?
You gotta get one.
Bombshell.
And another thing, this song really reminds me of the Beatles. With the way he's singing, and then the guitars and the drums. The drums are a little faster than usually most of the Beatles songs. But the way it sounds is very much. I was like, it reminds me of like early Beatles.
Yeah. No, I can see that for sure. Some of the guitar parts and the way the drums work together with the rhythm of the guitar, like a lot of that sounded like early
It's funny that we were
Beatles
talking
stuff.
about them earlier too. Like when I first started.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah, I never put that together, but that's actually a really good point. That's gonna be hard to unsee now.
I know, right now I'm gonna think about that.
I never really thought of that.
I'm sure there's an AI cover of it somewhere.
Yeah.
Even when they
on
perform,
TikTok.
like they're really good. Like even the Beatles, like the way Beatles perform are like really lively.
Yeah, see, that makes sense. That's a good observation. I can't believe I didn't put that together. That's good.
That's okay. That's what we're all three here for.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, like watching the video, they have so much fun in that live performance. I love Albert. He goes so hard in this video.
I know.
He's just the way that he strums, and that's kind of like that's the first time I remember seeing his like signature, like he's got his guitar up high, like up on his neck, and just strumming really fast. And I'd never really seen anyone play like that before I watched this video. Like I was obviously way younger, but so that's what I always take away from it was like he had so much energy. Just the whole band was just having fun. You could feel it when you watch the video.
His birthday was just like last week or something, and he shared something. Oh, he shared
Albert?
he shared when the New Abnormal won the Grammy. I guess that day, like 3 years ago, was when that happened, and he said in a post like, "I'm grateful to be in such a great band with amazing people," or something, and that made me feel happy because I'm like, okay, cool. So they're closer than we probably think if he's sharing something like that. There's not that fake beef that everyone talks about on Reddit. Julian might be in his voids phase, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't give a shit about the Strokes, and that's what I like to think about. And I only bring that up because we're talking about Albert. So it's cool that he said something like that about the band and how he feels about the band and everything that they've done. Because like when you listen to songs like this, and we said this 1,000 times, they wrote this song on their debut album. Imagine like being that good out of the gate,
Right.
and writing something that's on lists of top 10, top 5, even a top 500 list of best songs of all time. There's billions and trillions of songs out there, and you're in top 500.
It's so rare.
Yeah.
to be able to do that. Not
Yeah.
many artists have been able to accomplish something like that. So yeah.
Yeah, and when you think of like artists that have done incredible debut albums, like I guess from our time, like what comes to my mind, like Hybrid Theory, Hot Fuss by the Killers, like those that was their debut, right? Please, I hope I'm right about that, or else I'm gonna look like an idiot. But I'm pretty sure that's their debut. Like there's bands, it's rare that kind of stuff happens. This, I was only 5 years old, so I don't know if I can consider it my time. Like, this was 2001. But this was your time.
Yeah,
Manny.
I was like, how old was I? I was like 11 or 12.
Yeah, so you were conscious enough to understand what was happening.
This was like cool music back then. This was
Yeah.
like, this is what, like, you know, when you're like 11 or 12, you see people that are like 19, 20 years old. Like, those are the cool people. And whatever they're doing, like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And this is what they were doing. They were listening to stuff like this. So
Yeah. And it's just crazy. I just think the stuff that came from this so early in their career that they wrote first, that when we compare, like, to the Monkees and their first album, it's completely different. The Monkey stuff in their first album is amazing in its own way, but the Stroke stuff in their first album is more, like, down my lane of, like, this thing is such a great body of work in every... And they're, like... Stop saying like, Jared. Oh, my God. I do have to get it. I'm really trying. That's why I'm talking slower. So I'm going to be talking slower in this episode to try to not do that. But when I think about this album, it's crazy that there's like 5 or 6 songs that just stand the test of time and that stay on the list. And this is one of them. I don't want to talk about opinions just yet. I want to because it's like on the tip of my tongue. But this one, in terms of what stands out for me, mainly, is I like how Will brought in the guitar solo stuff. I think the drums by Fab on this one is great because again, it's not a slow song, but it's a pretty like basic.
yeah, it's definitely upbeat.
I don't like the word basic, but you know what I mean. It's like it follows a pattern, and
Simple.
yeah, it's that's a good one. Yeah, simple. And he's still, if you watch the video, like he's still slamming on those things, and when you really listen to it, like that's where he's at. The guitar solo definitely does stand out, but to me, I just think this is another one of the Julian situations where just the way he delivers the words last night, like, I don't know if you guys, I know, Will, you sing a little bit. Manny, I don't know, have you been a singer?
I'm not a vocalist, no.
I suck at singing. I just want you guys to know that I'm not good at all. I just started recently because I just became more confident with it and like actually starting to like my voice a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of experimenting with it.
Let's be clear, man. Like, there's no such thing as good when it comes to being a vocalist.
You're right.
Because everyone's voice is specific to what they're writing.
Yeah.
People can think Tom York is a horrible singer. I've had many friends where I show them Radiohead. They're like, what is this shit that I'm listening to?
I think he sounds like an angel.
Yeah. And I'm like, you can't put him in, like, a pop band, but he's perfect for what he's doing
what he does,
in his own way.
Absolutely.
And he brings his own thing. When you think of good singers, you think of, like, you know, Adele, Freddie Mercury. Like, I get the category that they're in. So trust me, I know that there are great Alicia Keys.
Yeah, that's
but,
that's a whole different level.
Yeah, but like you
average person.
Yeah, but there's no such thing as a bad singer because even people that sometimes sing off key can make it work in their
That's
music.
true, yeah.
It's so don't ever think like that. It just has to match
that
your
being
vibe.
said, I have seen a couple episodes of American Idol where like
Okay.
there are some bad singers. Like sometimes you just have to admit, okay, you're not really a singer. Doesn't mean you shouldn't sing. Have fun.
Yeah.
You have a lot of room for improvement.
Yeah, but not everyone is a.
But anything can be
a-
turned into a remix.
There you go.
So if it's bad, just turn it into whatever. That's my main point. So anyone's trying to get into singing, that's how I always think about it. I'm always down on myself in everything that I do, whether it's my playing, whether it's my singing. But I know that I'm good. But I'm hard on myself too. I try to not be that way, or else I'm never gonna do anything. So I gotta tell myself I can carry a tune. I can follow tempo. I'm on key. That's all that matters. If I don't like how I sound, I'm sure other people will, and even if they don't, whatever, it's good with what I like. But anyway, where I was going with that was, you have to, as someone that does sing, to deliver that line like last night and scream it like that, and have it sound good. His decisions on how this song was put together in terms of how he approached it vocally is incredible to me. Because when you look at the lyrics, there's a lot of repetitive. It's very formula. It's part of a formula. It's verse 1, pre-chorus, chorus 1, verse. It's very like that. But the way he delivers every verse, every chorus, every part of the bridge, whatever he does, the little things where he's like, after he does like a line, you have to make those decisions, and it's basic in the studio, but when you hear it out loud, I think this is a Julian song for me.
Yeah. It's like
For
part of
sure.
his performance. Like he throws in those little quips, you
Yeah.
know? And that's part of his like what we end up seeing later. Like I think this is like the first time that I saw anyway. And when you go and order the album of like, oh, okay, like he gets better and better and shows you a little bit more as
Yeah.
all these songs go along. And this is like, for me, when I heard it, it was like, oh shit, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's like a Pokemon. He goes through evolution stages. He's in his stage 1. Because to me, I can break this down if you want. I do refer him as like a Pokemon. This is stage 1 Julian.
Hold on, so you thought of this?
Yeah, well,
You thought of this
just now,
analogy before-
now,
okay.
but like in my mind, this
Well,
is the
now,
shit my mind processes quick.
Before
Not
you
life
break
lessons.
it down, just answer me this: what type of Pokemon is Julian?
He's
Theoretically.
he's a dark.
The dark type? Okay. Dark
I mean,
what?
listen to some of the shit that he writes with the voids.
Is there a
He's
second?
a dark Pokemon, and it's such a good question. I dark is like the main thing.
That's a good one.
You gotta give
He's
him a
dark type.
secondary. You know, nowadays
wanna-
everything has two types.
I want to give him like fire because like he's
Fire?
or fighting because I've
see
seen him like attack Fab for making a mistake and
That
shit.
is true.
Fighting
Like
or
throwing the
fire?
mics.
'Cause he-
Electricity.
well, I was thinking electricity because there's a specific Void song that kind of has to do with that, but I was like, that's too on the nose. So I was thinking more in general. That's a really good question. This is fun. This is the stuff. This is why you guys listen, or I should be clear. This is why I re-listen for us because it's funny. But anyway, stage 1 Julian is what you hear, and Is This It, and Room on Fire.
Okay.
Stage 2 Julian is what you hear from First Impressions, and I'm gonna First Impressions and Angles, and then stage 3 is Come Down Machine and The New Abnormal. The reason why is because when you're in the first 2 albums, he doesn't do his like the falsetto stuff. He doesn't do that at all, I don't think, unless I'm forgetting one. But I really don't think he does. But when you get into First Impressions of Earth, he does a little bit of it, but not as much the falsetto versus the where he just like kind of raises, he just goes higher on a scale. He doesn't do the falsetto, unless again I'm forgetting one. I have to look back again, but I really don't think there's a lot of it. But once you get to Angles, that's when he starts to like do a little bit more of that, where he's fully fleshed. You could even honestly make stage 2 just First Impressions, and then stage 3 is the last 3. But that's like how I think of him. There's 3 stages of Julian to me, and that's how I think of it, because he doesn't quite break through all that.
You know what that means, though?
What?
That means theoretically there's like a mega evolution, Julian. Are we ready for that?
And that's where the Voids comes in.
You think that's the Voids?
Yeah. Do you not know what you've heard the past month?
I think we're still waiting for the
Unless
manga.
we're still
I'm
waiting.
still waiting for the
All
mega.
right.
I'm just saying
That's
that.
fine. He just hasn't released on Pokemon Go yet. Okay. Man, I wish he listened to this. I'm sure he would love that conversation.
You probably think we're a bunch
Snap.
of weirdos, like, oh, these fucking losers talking
Yeah.
about Pokemon.
Fuck. Anyway, what stands out for you guys?
Love it. Definitely like I like the way you were saying like his little quips. He does that a lot in his song. Like I know we haven't gotten to
Oh my
lyrics
god,
yet.
so many.
But like
So many times.
yeah, and
In
like
the
I
future.
I like how you said the way he's saying like last night where he's like kind of screaming it.
Mm-hmm.
Even the one interview Gordon was talking about it where he's like he loved Julian because of the way like he was different from some other singers where you could hear his passion. Like he's letting go. This song's a little sad, and when you look at the lyrics, but he's letting go of like all his stuff and he's giving you all of his emotions. So when he's saying last night, the way I picture it is like he's like throwing his hands like behind him and like just saying with like all his chest and like I can't even get it because I'm not gonna get that freaking tone and everything. But it's really nice and it feels like raw, but like it's kind of exciting and like a little like upbeat. It's crazy, just the way he's saying that. Like I definitely agree with you with that part.
Manny, what do you got?
Yeah, well, so 2 things for me. It's the guitars, like I said, like, you know, both of them, the rhythm that they're keeping, it's upbeat. Like you said, the lyrics are kind of sad, like it's, you know, but the music itself is kind of like I don't know if happy's the word. I would say it's like it's upbeat. I don't feel bad when I listen to the song, if that makes sense.
I didn't dig deep into the lyrics on purpose. Because you guys know what time it's going to be.
Yeah, it's coming up. He's got the
Will's
lyrics.
lyrics section.
Yeah.
Yeah. sorry, were you done?
Yeah, no, you already sang it.
No,
we
no,
can't
no,
say
no,
no.
no, you would
Will,
stop.
hit us with the lyrics.
No, I can't.
No, I
I'm
love that.
unfulfilled.
No.
I'm sorry.
Okay, real quick. The only other thing I was gonna say
No,
was
no, real quick. You have all the
no,
time in
because
the world.
you guys already said it. But
I'll rewind it. All right, it's rewound. It's rewound.
So again, going back to what you guys said, but the word that kept coming into the phrase was his mic work. You know, because it's his voice, the way he's delivering it, the way he's holding the mic. He's got it like pressed up.
Dude, he had that thing to his mouth the whole goddamn time.
His whole like stage. I don't know if you guys noticed, but like his mic work and then like his stage presence. There's a point like even at the end, which he does it throughout the show, throughout the song itself, but right at the end, like he's going up to the other guys. I can't remember who it was. But anyway, he was like going up, and they're still in the middle of playing, and he's done singing. The song's over, but he goes over and he like starts shoving them.
Yeah.
Like, I love stuff like that. Like he's just, you know, So that's really what stands out for me. But yes, let's get down to the lyrics now.
I did notice though, Nikolai is
who it was.
using a Rickenbacker bass, which is one of the basses that Paul McCartney used during his Wings stuff. And it has an incredible tone, and you can hear it. I've always wanted one, but they're like $3,500 for like a bass one, like a basic one. And I've always wanted one. One day I'll have it. But they have really good like finger plucking sounds when you do it. God, it's so satisfying. I want one so bad. Paul's was like, if I'm not mistaken, like bluish pinkish, like some color. But it was like big during the 70s, like for bands like that. Fucking that and his violin Hofner bass, amazing. One thing before we get into lyrics, I did listen to a live performance of this where just how he delivered Last Night, not even just the power with it, he did it like last night, like he had like a up and down there, and it made to me like the live that one I listened to just changed my thought on it a little bit on how it can sound, and he didn't do that when I saw them live. This was a performance from like 8 years ago or something like that. Even just the delivery live with some of these songs, and we've talked about this before. I know I talked about Barely Legal. Like sometimes live performances can change my opinion on a song when you hear it, which is, I guess, part of the point. But anyway, Will's lyrics section. Let's do it.
Okay. So the reason I was saying it's kind of a sad song, you actually have to go and look into the lyrics. And I'm not gonna say every single lyric. That's what you guys are kind of here for, to discover with us. But I'll read this first one, like right off the bat, the first verse of the song. Last night, she said, "Oh baby, I feel so down. Oh, it turns me off when I feel left out. So I turn around. Oh baby, I don't care no more. I know this for sure. I'm walking out that door." So it's kind of like they feel like they're arguing, and then Julian's like, "You know what? I don't really care. It's fine. It's okay."
He's like, "I'm done."
Yeah, and you know, like they're kind of going through some crap, but Julian's kind of like, "You know what? I don't really give a crap. It's whatever." Yeah. And you can't really be like that. You gotta actually feel your feelings. But like, I'm glad that he made this song like this, because then a lot of people can relate to that. Like a lot of people have gone through that where like, even I kind of said it right now. I'm kind of feeling numb, so I'm just like, I'm not giving a crap about things. The one lyrics that spoke. Oh, I skipped that one part. One lyrics I really like. Actually, I didn't notice it before, but I noticed it today. He does this a lot of times where he goes, "Oh," like the he throw like a random word in there where he goes, "Well, I've been in town for just about 15 minutes now." When I'm saying it like this, it sounds weird, but when you're listening to the song, it's fun to say. Yeah. And the one that I think when I first heard this song, I was taking a shower, so I was kind of vibing, and the part that kind of stuck out to me, like I kind of remember when I first heard the song too, when he was like, "People, they don't understand. Girlfriends, they can't understand. Your grandsons, they won't understand."
Your grandma.
I think he does say grandma too. Yeah.
Yeah, he changed it. He does grandma and grandson.
Your granny won't understand, guys.
Probably my favorite, where he even goes, "In spaceships, they won't understand." Which is like, aliens, if aliens came to our planet, they wouldn't even understand what we're going through. Yeah. And it's like, damn, like that, it kind of feels like that, where sometimes when you're going through something, it feels like no one's going to understand you, or like, you know, like feels like no one gets what you're going through. So I really relate to those lyrics a lot, and I like them.
You got something, Manny?
No, I mean, if you look, it's kind of shocking to look at the lyrics for this, because, like, there's not a lot.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's pretty
it's
simple.
Very simple, yeah, like,
but
there's really...
the way he delivers it, makes it sound full.
Not only, yeah, exactly, full, because, like, you would think, looking at these lyrics, this song is a minute. but they really like kind of
So many of their songs are short. This is one of the longer ones. It's
Right.
3:03 or something like
right.
that.
They definitely they stretch it out. They add some little sections in there, some solos and things like
Yep.
that. So this is a cool song. Not like when you realize that, because it's like, oh shit, like they're really all just kind of showing off their own little skill sets again.
I also love how Fab comes in where it's like ding ding ding, like just
Right.
it's so satisfying. And then
Crashing
you
it.
guys listen, it's the first guitar, then the drums, then second guitar, and then bass. Did you guys notice that? Like each one comes in one after each other.
Yeah, because it goes.
It starts all the way up, and then drums, and then there's another layer with Albert,
Yeah,
I
that's a
think,
good point,
and
yeah.
then the
I like
bass. You
that.
can hear it in the speaker. The bass comes in, and then
Right.
Julian's last. I actually just now like thought of that when I was
That's
thinking
beautiful.
about it. Yeah, I kind of want to like play it again to like hear it. But anyway, that was a pretty goddamn good start, guys.
I want to say one more thing before we move on.
No,
to
yeah,
anything
go
else.
ahead.
I kind of want to throw this in there. I'm gonna start doing this. A similar song to this song. It's not the same sounding wise, but like storytelling wise, kind of.
Tom Petty.
Yes, that we're gonna check that one out. I would say "Alien Boy" by Oliver Tree. If you look at the lyrics for that, it's kind of similar to this, where it feels like no one understands you, and like even aliens, like you feel like you're alone on this planet.
Now
you're
hold
going
on,
through crap.
before we move on, do you know who Oliver Tree is?
Yeah, I know a couple of his
Okay,
stuff. Yeah, I do.
alright.
hmm
I didn't think you would, because that doesn't seem like you're.
Yeah, he's
you're
old.
John.
Not
Yeah, he
old,
has been
but,
around
but
for a
like
while.
I've heard his stuff for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, so that was Will's lyrics section and also recommendations for songs that sound like the song that we're listening to today. Anyway, before we get into rankings, guys, you know what time it is now? I think I'm going to start having Manny read these so Manny has a section.
Pizza time.
Because Manny's voice, by the way, people love Manny's voice.
What?
Yep.
People have
You have a
said
very
this?
elegant, deep voice.
Yeah, people have commented that, and I've said that. And my friend, our friend,
interesting.
also
She's
said
kinda
that
jealous.
at work. I'm jealous too. It's a beautiful voice
Thank you
got.
guys, I appreciate it.
Naturally
welcome.
deep. Unless you have a really high voice this whole time, you're just like.
Yeah, no, this is just I'm really pushing it down deep. Yeah, I'm really.
That's
actually have
what
a high
she
voice.
said. So last night didn't get a shit ton of comments, which is crazy.
That's shocking.
Yeah. Someone's Evie Mink said, "Never heard this one. Is this a
What?
B-side?" It's definitely a joke.
Find them.
Moretti123 said, "Julian is so goddamn hot here. Sorry, what was the question?" I 100% agree. Julian, oh man, dude. If I were to ever kiss a man, oh my god, I'm gonna make him feel so uncomfortable.
Well,
if he
I'm gonna
listens
DM
to
him right
this.
now.
Fuck.
That's probably why they need an answer. You made him feel comfortable.
Probably. Remarkable Tale 9238 said, "It's a good song. This last night performance in Australia is honestly my favorite. It's so perfect." It's the one I posted on Reddit. Meaning Immediate 5486 said, "Is that Wayne Coyne at the end of this clip? I don't know who that is. I'm sure he's part of a band that we should know, but I don't know." And someone said yes. We'll have to
Wayne
look
Coyne.
at that. D Knights _17 said, "A classic like Here Comes the Sun and Come Together. One of the best songs of all time was Someday too." That's crazy that they said that and you said something about the Beatles. That's
yeah,
awesome.
it's like Beatles vibes.
Yeah, Subspace _Romance said, "This was the song that got me into the Strokes." A lot of people loved the live clip I posted. I think it's from Australia. Deleted account said, "Good song, but it's overrated compared to the rest of the album." I 100% agree with that. I don't think it's incredibly overrated, which
Just a
which
little.
isn't what he said, so that's good. But I do think it is a little bit overrated. No Train 49 said, "Love this song. This live performance you put here is really cool too. Usual Julian shenanigans to not sing the right words." That, yeah, I can attest to that. A lot of people said that how he loved how he said things, which is cool. And then Donka Plays said, "My two favorite things of all time in this song are the bass line for the first verse, the vocal melody for people they don't understand." Yep. Julian's delivery, guys. Julian's delivery. Those are some of the best comments from that post. Thank you guys again. I did forget to start the episode by saying, please rate and review our shows. I'm going to have to say that earlier in the episodes. I keep forgetting. We appreciate all that stuff. Make sure if you follow our Instagram, or you like our Instagram, you follow. Give us a rating. Anyway, I don't want to get into that shit right now. Let's get into ratings, guys. Who's going first?
4.
4?
Yep.
Right on the dot?
Right on the dot.
All right. Any explanations? You got any comments on it?
I do love the song, actually. It's a great song. I feel like it's a little overplayed. I don't think it's overrated. I think it's just a little overplayed.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of other really good songs that they should play.
Yeah.
And that's why I give it a 4. I don't think it's a masterpiece in terms of like. That's why I won't give it a 5. But it's one that I won't skip it when it come on. It's a fun song.
Yeah, I want to agree with Manny. He said something 2 weeks ago when we did Someday about you got to think about it of the impact that it had. So I tried to put that into my opinion as well, because like you are right, but I do try to keep more to what our personal opinions are versus because like I said last time, I'll make it clear, I understand the impact that all these songs had.
Yeah,
and I just said this earlier, that like it's incredible that this band put these great songs out. And I do think it is a timing piece, like for when I grew up with, or when I got into them. Like I didn't, because we were talking about this at work the other day about like Fall Out Boy, for example. Like I grew up with them, so I'm more fond of the like older stuff, and I can like do that. But with the Strokes, my favorite. I'm not gonna spoil it, because you said that last time. My favorite album isn't like it's fuck. I'm just gonna say it's Room on Fire, but New Abnormal is like close to that, and that's closer when I got into them, so I get that. Anyway, long story short, my ratings would be a 3.8. Biggest reason why like I'm giving it that is because songs like The Modern Age, Alone Together, Hard to that's in the future. Songs like that, I can't like I like those songs better. And this, like what Will was saying, my main thing is this isn't one of those songs where I listen to it and I'm like, this is my favorite Strokes song of all time. And when they close shows with this, I'm like, like this song or Is This It does not seem like a song that you close with, and so many times they close with it. I've seen this live, and it's like, okay, it's not you gotta kind of picture yourself kind of singing it and live, and when you watch these old videos of him playing it live, it's a whole other thing. But anyway, I think for me, for sure, 3.8 is where this is gonna sit versus some of the other stuff on this album that I look at. Manny, what are you hitting us with?
So I hear what you're saying as far as like the, how I said last time about the cultural impact of the song kind of factoring in. And so because it's not like, I'm doing that the same thing with this song here. The fact that it's not, lyrically very in-depth, but the music itself is so good, and the way that it's structured and how you said like they all come in and, separately. And then again, factor that in with the cultural impact, it's a 4.5 for me. Because it now, if it was a little bit deeper lyrics wise, then I'd have to put it up at a 5. But a lot of that 4.5 comes from like what it did, the level that it put them on. And it's fair, like for Jared, like how he kind of said, like, okay, well, when I discovered this band, like this is not what they were doing. They were doing this over here. Whereas when I discovered this band, like this was what they were doing. And so for me, this is like massive. This is one of the songs that it's the reason that I kept up with the Strokes. If the Strokes didn't have, Someday and songs like this, a lot of people wouldn't have kept listening to them.
I see what you mean.
You hear, certain songs on here and they'd be cool, but like that's not necessarily a reason to like follow a band's whole career, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it's a 4.5, just with everything wrapped. I really want to give it something higher, but again, it's not.
Give it what comes to you.
Yeah, I think 4.5
sounds right. Then keep it.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, it's not a perfect song, but to put it below a 4 would just be like, I feel like I would want to smack myself.
Yeah.
Like what am I doing?
I stopped trying to. I need to just go with like how I'm feeling with it, because with songs, because I keep trying to talk myself into like, what am I not like vibing with that everyone else is? And it's not that I don't vibe with the song, it's just there's better songs to me on the album. That's why I can't rate this, and I go with this every time. I'm done explaining myself out of it. But I try to make it more of a personal thing versus what it does, because what it does, I don't know how it's gonna sound, but like it has nothing to do with how I feel about it. You know what I mean? Like it's maybe if you're like the band that can, you're like, oh shit, I wrote that song and this did this. Like if I wrote a song that blew up, I'd probably be obsessed with it because it was like the song that got me into it. But being the listener to it, I can't sit here and say that affects me that much.
That's why I give it a 4. Like if I'm being honest, I will give it a 4.5 because of the impact. but like being more personal. So the way
Yeah.
it makes me feel, I give it a solid 4.
For me, it's all about replayability. That's my personal thing, and this isn't quite up to the rating that like I put this on myself because I want to listen to it. It's also one that I don't really skip, but do sometimes, so that's why I put that there. Anyway, did we miss any segments that I'm not thinking about? I don't think we did.
No.
Let's get to the monkeys.
Yeah, let's do it.
We are doing Riot Van from the Arctic Monkeys debut album. This was not a single or anything. This came out when the album came out, January 23rd, 2006. It was ranked number 64 on the best AM songs. It's got 76.8 million streams, and there's a couple things that I want Will to talk about that he had some notes on. But annoyingly, there was not a lot I could find on this one. So those stats right there, that's what I got for you. We are gonna give this guy a listen. We ready?
Heck yeah.
Let's do it. Cool. All right, that was Riot Van by the Arctic Monkeys on their debut album. Definitely a step back in tempo. Manny, you want to start with this one? What do you think?
Yeah, I always thought this was like an interesting song, just because it's about like being young and being out. And there, I've read a lot of things. Like a lot of people think that this song is like about, it's like superficial. Like, underage drinking seems to be like the theme, but when you listen to like the melody of it, it just seems like deeper than that to me. Like it's not necessarily just about these young guys that are going out and drinking and maybe getting into some trouble. That's what the lyrics suggest, but I don't know, something about the melody just makes it seem what's the word, like just there's more toxicity there. It's not just that superficial, like when you're young, underage, and you want to go have some drinks and cause trouble with your friends, right? So I really like this song. It's cool, like looking at because this is obviously an older song of theirs, and I remember people like discussing this song a lot. About like, oh, what is it like? What does it mean? And Alex has kind of always been not very upfront, but what I like about it, aside from like the actual melody and such, is like this is the first song on the album where they slow Alex's voice down and you can kind of hear what he actually sounds like,
Yeah. Not like, oh, yeah.
Exactly. Like it's away from like that punky garage vibe that they were going for, and you can kind of just see like a somber version of him.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool that like we didn't get that up until this very point. This was the first one.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I take away from it.
Because it would still take you home right before the song,
Yeah.
and it was still upbeat, yeah.
Yeah, it was still like loud, upbeat. This is like really like slowed down. I love the drumming in it too. It's really simple, but I could just picture just like him just kind of sitting.
So what
there,
is that
like,
he's hitting? Is it a cymbal?
the cymbals? Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I like that how gentle it is.
And he had to do it very gentle. Yeah,
That's
and
hard, I heard.
It's very hard. Yeah, especially to do it at such the same pace. It's easy to like, the third one in, like you might hit it a little bit too hard than the first two.
mess
But
up the whole thing.
he stays. Matt stays on point the whole time, and it's just when you. It's one of those that like you don't want to really compare to any of the other songs on the album, because it's not fair. It's like it feels like this is in a different weight class. Like it wouldn't be fair. But so when you just look at it on its own, it's an interesting song at the very least.
To me, it sounds like it feels like it could go like a jazz song if they wanted to. Like if they got rid of the cymbals and they or the sticks, and he uses the little paddle things like the way they do in like jazz songs. And if they slowed it down a little bit, add some bass to it and like little stand up bass, that's kind of what the vibes that it gave me. It gave me very like I guess jazz is the word. I can't give like any examples like that I can help you understand.
Like
but
bossa nova kind of, like
Yeah.
slowed down bossa.
yeah, it feels like if they slowed it down a little bit and there wasn't the like on the cymbal that sped the song up, I feel like I would like it better if it was like a slower type thing, like jazz type style song. It's very basic. It's about being picked up from a late night, I guess, right? Or no. I don't know why I was doing research on what was the next one. I was ahead of myself.
Hey man, slow down.
Yeah, right. Good job. Thank you. Yeah, it's a song about
I mean, you're not that far
About
off.
cops.
Like,
Yeah.
they get stopped by the cops late at night.
It ain't picked up by a friend though. It's picked up from the cops. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that already was right. Okay,
Right,
so
man.
basically the same. Yeah. We should have done New York City Cops in this song just to be on theme, but yeah, I mean, I like the tone that the guitar is. I always like when when a band does a song that could be acoustic, but instead it's acoustic electric. Which to me, acoustic is a broad term, personally. You don't have to use an acoustic guitar for it to be acoustic. To me, acoustic can also mean you're just using one instrument, like electric or acoustic guitar, and it can still be that type of vibe. Like, you can play Wish You Were Here on an electric guitar by itself, and still, maybe not the same exact vibe, but it'll still sound like a solo good song you play acoustic. So to me, there's a bunch of different ways a song could be played that could make it definitely more interesting, a lot better. I do think Alex's vocals, like you guys said, is more obviously in the forefront. There's no one else singing on this one, which most of the other songs, there's always something that they're saying or screaming. So it is a step back in pace. There's a song called No Buses on an EP from this album that I would like to talk about that is an example of a slower song that I love. That song, if you compare it to anything, it's compared to that style. But I don't have much else. Like, personally, that's my thought. My takeaway in terms of what stands out to me the most, you only got three options. I think his vocals is what stands out. But again, I do like the sound of that guitar and the chord progressions they got going on. Some of the chords that he hits on that thing. So it's kind of a toss-up for me because I do like the tone of the guitar in this song because of the type of style that they were going for. What do you guys got with that? What stands out?
I actually love that guitar in the song, and I like how Manny said, you pointed out that it's like their first slow song on this album. And you'll see that much later in their just discography. But like out of this album, it's the first one where they slowed down. So it's nice because it's like if you're listening to the album in full, it's like a party. And then you get like this soft moment where it's like, all right, we can get to chill right now and just hang out and like have a good time. So it's nice, and it shows their diversity. Like, they can be crazy and fun, or we could just chill and kick back. And this is a great song, and it's beautiful too.
Yeah.
So it shows that they have both vibes going on. It's like, oh, okay. I want to say before I talk about the song a little bit, there is that Beneath the Boardwalk version from the demo. And it is a little bit more beat and a little bit like blurry, like kind of distorted, but I like the slow down from the album version a lot better. And the demo version from Beneath the Boardwalk has totally different lyrics. So I'll talk about that, the demo a little bit. Well, I'll talk about the lyrics later. I just want to say that
I didn't
the lyrics...
cue you in yet, so you cannot...
Right. The lyrics are different. But the song, though... I like the way it makes me feel because it's like one of those songs where it's like, how many times in life do we appreciate the fact that we just can exist? We're always constantly working, partying, and doing and going. This is a
you're
song
partying?
Well, no.
You guys have been going to parties without me?
Yeah.
No, I don't party. But it's just, there's a lot going on in the world, and it's like, damn, everything's fast paced and just doesn't slow down. And it's nice that we can hear the song and take the time to slow down. It's just nice. It's a beautiful song.
So the guitar stood out to you the most in terms of what stood out?
Yeah, it makes me feel very calm. That was.
I have a good comment that I found here that like maybe Will, like, you might appreciate this, but I found this post on song meanings, and it's like where people kind of, you post a song, people give you like their thoughts on it, right? And so I was able to find one for this, and someone that said. It seems like the kids who are underage just want to experience something, whether it's a low or a high or something in between, or maybe they don't want to experience or feel anything at all. That's kind of what I was getting at with the with like my original comment. It just seems like a deeper song. It's like, again, if you're comparing this to like the other songs, and it's like this isn't like a song that you would probably put on to like vibe out to, like the other ones. But when you hear this song, it makes you think, and I think that that's what makes it cool. It's not like a song you put on to just bop around to. You put it on, you might have only heard this a couple times, right? Like, I maybe have heard this song 20 times my entire life, but every time that I have, I always kind of sit down and like pause afterwards and think. So I think that's really cool.
Yep.
Same.
Cool. Is it time for
I think so.
Will's lyrics section and song that sounds like the song that we're talking about?
Love it. I love it.
You already did that though. You hit him with the no buses.
Oh shit.
Yeah, no, that was good. Because Will, do you know no buses?
No,
Okay.
but I checked it out today, but I don't know that song. Because
Okay.
when I was doing my research, I heard that song was like the closest song. No buses is the closest. to
Okay.
Oh,
Rap.
someone said that? Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't read that. I literally just thought of
That's
that.
cool they
No.
said that.
Oh,
though, yeah.
okay.
Jared's a genius.
Yeah, no, Jared knows these people, so I'm like, okay. I want to start with the demo first before I go into the album version. So,
Okay.
lyrics, right? Lyrics. The last verse on the demo version is the first one on the album. So when you're listening to the demo, hold on, let me bring it back up. Yep, so here we got it. From Genius. The very first one, fuck. This is the actual song, not the thing. From Genius, the very first one. We got thrown in a riot van and the coppers kicked him in. There was no way he could win. He just had to take it on the chin. That's the first verse, which on the album version is the last verse, which is kind of interesting how they switch it around at the end. See what else. One of my favorite lyrics from the demo version. It's a little fucked up. It's just funny. Where it says, "Smoked a bong last night and stole someone's telephone. He thinks it's all right, but they let him on his own. It's a little messed up, but it's funny that Alex would say that. I'm just like, I can't picture him saying that.
Yeah, I can't see him smoking like that either. He doesn't
It's
seem
funny they
like the
took it out.
type.
Yeah.
Maybe when he was young.
And in the demo, he uses the word fire brigade. I just thought this was funny and kind of interesting. Fire brigade. And I'm like, fire brigade. Sorry.
Fire Brigade.
Yeah, I can't even say that.
That's my Tranquility.
And I haven't heard anyone ever say that. Like, oh, I'll call the fire brigade or call the firefighters. And that's because it's an old school term. It comes from ancient Rome and Europe. And all the firefighters originally came from Europe, which makes sense. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's a little throwback. And that's all the lyrics I have for the demo version. One of my favorite lyrics from the actual album version, where he goes, "Haven't been drinking, son. You don't look old enough to me." And then Alex goes, "I'm sorry, officer. Is there a certain age you're supposed to be? Because no one told me." I just think that's really funny. I can picture like a young Alex like saying that to like,
Like,
a cop.
what are you
Smart
talking
ass.
about, mate?
Right.
So it's funny that I like when artists throw like a sentence or something in a song. It doesn't sound like lyrics. It just sounds like the typical lyrics, like catchy. It just sounds like funny, like a sentence, like
Yeah.
storytelling kind of.
It's a basic premise of the song, but his lyrical ability is so strong that he can still create interesting ways to explain what's happening to a point where it sounds interesting.
Right after that, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Right after that, he says they ask why they don't catch proper crooks. Meaning he's talking about like the band members talking to the cops, like, why don't you catch proper crooks? So we're just having fun. We're just drinking.
Yeah.
Are
Wasting
you
your
ever
time with
underage,
us
but, like,
kids.
yeah, like go catch someone that's committing real crimes and hurting real people. Like,
Yeah.
So that's really funny, and I'm glad that he made this song. Actually, it's fun.
Yeah.
I don't. It's kind of like the Barely Legal song, but I don't like the lyrics right now. But like maybe when I was younger, I would have really, really loved this song.
Maybe when you get in your hoodlum phase,
Now I'm out of that. I'm not gonna anymore.
maybe we'll relate more.
Jared, did you have a hoodlum face?
No,
What's the worst crime you've ever committed? Say it.
My
Say it here on the pod.
My closest thing to a hoodlum phase. Oh my god, dude! I can't, it's so pathetic. I can't think of like
you
one
like
thing.
you probably like. Can I guess what it is?
What?
Hold on. I'm just gonna guess. Okay. It was something to the effect of like you stole gum at the CVS when your
I've
mom
never
wasn't
stolen
looking.
a thing in my life.
No, so it's not theft.
Nope.
Okay.
I truly don't know. I'm trying to think of anything that maybe it's maybe not true. When I was like really young, my friend lived across the street, and I stole his iron.
You just
shot.
said you never stole anything.
I said maybe it wasn't true.
This man is a liar.
I said maybe it
Liar
wasn't
king.
liar. That's what I did wrong. No, I said
Wait, you
maybe
stole what? What
maybe
did
it's not true. So I stole my friend's Iron Giant toy and brought it over to my house when it was like really rainy out, because I knew he wouldn't want to come over and take it, so I thought he'd forget about it, and he didn't.
Damn.
Oh, here we go. No.
Look, he's changing his story around.
Well, there was that one.
Classic liar.
There was that one. And then also, when we were young, I had a friend, it was really young, we had those, like, you have those Xbox parties, you'd have pizza, you'd stay up late, you'd have the classic Cokes in the glass bottles, it was like a birthday party.
Yeah.
And we all fucked with my friend in the middle of the night, and the mom was listening from upstairs and, like, heard us fucking with the friend. So when I went to sleep, she took my phone, my friend's mom, and, like, withheld it from me because she heard that we were fucking with them. And I had to have my mom, like, pick me up and tell her to give me my phone back.
Damn.
Yeah.
Got his phone hijacked. That's crazy.
So I was like,
Don't
you
mess
got the
my
fucking
son.
nerve? Yeah, like, God, that shit pissed me off. Anyway.
See, now, if you were that age and you heard Riot Van, you would have been like, fuck yes.
Yeah.
This is the shit that I'm talking about
I would
right
have pushed
here.
her down the steps. Anyway.
All right.
Anyway.
Oh, my God.
Listen, you guys don't listen. That shit was crazy. I couldn't believe that. This person's mom is stealing my phone. That's crazy.
After
or I'm
you
stealing
stole an Iron Giant.
It wasn't that friend. That was
To
when
be honest, though, when have you... Now, this not condoning theft, but when's the last time you guys ever seen an Iron Giant toy? I've never seen one. So you had every right to try and take it. At least try.
Well, that was back when the VHSs had, like, a little toy taped to the front of it, and it was a little one. But the one I stole from him was, like, this one that was part of a remote control, and its eyes lit up and shit. I wanted it so bad. Its chest open and its gun would come out.
Oh, that's cool. We gotta
Dude,
find that.
it was so fucking cool. And it's the old kind. I bought one from a thrift shop, and it's upstairs. But it's not the same one. I didn't really realize it until I looked hard at it. It's not the same one. So now I'm
You
pissed.
should find that kid. Well, he's an adult now. He's a man.
It's my best friend.
Oh, it's your best friend?
Yeah, it's my best friend.
Oh,
yeah.
shit. All
That's
right,
why
well,
it didn't really matter.
Well, why don't you just, like, steal it back from him? Does he still have it?
He's older
Steal it
now.
back.
His parents probably have it somewhere in a basement or attic
Oh,
somewhere.
so it's even easier. Just
Or they
show up.
sold it.
What's your friend's name?
Peyton.
Peyton. So
Yeah.
you just show up to Peyton's parents' house and say, hey, I'm here to grab the Iron Giant for Peyton.
We are
Get
years
mentioned
past
and
that. How many times I've tried to do it. The amount of times we've stolen each other's toys is insane. Like, when we were in elementary school, we had, like, eggs, like those plastic dinosaur eggs in school. He would always get the shit that I wanted, and I'd get the shit that no one wanted. So I couldn't even trade him. So he got a fucking T-Rex in his egg, and I got a fucking one of those Diplodocus things.
What the fuck is that?
The ones that, like, are like this, but they have, like, flaps on, like,
What?
going out like this. If I showed it to you,
know what
you'd
that
know.
is.
It's not a Triceratops. It's not a
it's kinda like that?
Bronchiosaurus. It's a... How do I explain what it is? I
feel like I know
don't
what you're talking
know.
about.
Diplodocus is
have
the
a
long
beak?
neck, but it's not that. No, it's got fucking flaps on its head. I can't remember. Anyway, it was a boring dinosaur that I couldn't trade for it, and he wouldn't give it to me.
Dinosaurs and Pokemon.
Yeah. Anyway,
Riot Van is such a short song that we have now started discussing
dinosaurs and stealing things. Let's get to the comments. We got 14 on this one. The_vet said, I fucking love it, and when it's done, I'm not done, so usually go for a repeat. Just beautiful. Pedrino said, great track, often overlooked. It serves perfectly as break from a chaotic atmosphere in the first record. What people say I am to me is like being beat to the floor and then on a certain romance. It's as if your aggressor rests down to sleep with a kiss on the forehead. Riot Van is the moment you think the beating has ended, but he's just taking a break. That's a good explanation. Unosha said, Riot Van is a great palate cleanser between songs. I love the wistful nature of it.
Ooh, I like that palate cleanser.
Yeah. Try Again Deathman said, so I didn't find the song until 2018 when my friend from college soccer would play it in the locker room. It really has a chokehold on nostalgia because I was turning 19 that year, and I guess that's your last year being a teenager. I don't know. Making it about myself, I guess. Point is, it's beautifully nostalgic song, even so if I take it from the age I was when it came out, whatever year that was. It's a good comment. It's a good story. I love stories like that. Stricter69 said, it fully encapsulates that teenage feeling in Britain of boredom and doing something just to pass the time, aka antisocial behavior. The whole album is what it was like being in Tanger at that time. It's truly a masterpiece. A lot of people saying it reminded them of their youth, and yeah, a lot of people saying that. And then one last one, the Gay Dinosaurs said, wow, that's crazy. Someone's name is the Gay Dinosaurs, and we were just talking about dinosaurs. Fucking love this track. I can picture every second of the scenario and the song in my head. Underrated as fuck. Cool. Good comments, guys. We ready for rankings? I feel like I'm gonna fucking piss you guys off with mine.
I just wanted to say, you gotta think, like, this song came out before... I I was like, before like smartphones became popular, like crazy. What year is that?
I don't even know.
What
Anyway,
year?
I'm gonna go first. I'm giving this thing a I'm giving this thing a 1.7.
1.7.
Yep.
The fuck?
My God.
What
Yep.
the hell?
That's what I'm giving it. I'm not a big
As
fan
a
of it.
former, even as a former
Low
thief,
score.
Oh my god.
as a former thief,
Former
you're gonna give a
swingers.
song. Is
Yeah.
it because it has to do with cops and you just don't like
I hate
cops?
them. Yeah, they made me give the Iron Giant toy back.
Oh, well then that makes sense. That's all you had
Yeah.
to say.
Yeah.
Because that 1.7 just sounds like personal.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
did
okay,
something to you.
Mr. 1.5 for Curious. I don't want to hear it.
Listen, that song was made to be a 1.5.
No, what? This thing. Wait, we can't.
You gotta take that back. You get me heated now.
We can't. It's
I will die on that hill.
listen.
I have not listened to that song since then,
Well, that's the
and
problem.
it probably won't. I won't
I
listen to
haven't
it again.
either. I have other songs in
Okay.
stuff.
Anyway, it's a little too short for me. It is nice to listen to, but nothing latches me to it to a point where I would replay that again. So that's why it's where it is.
What?
And when I think about what I gave the lowest ranking before, which was Fake Tales, now I kind of want to raise that ranking, to be honest with you, but I can't do that. So that's why I give it... The max I was going to give it was like a 2.5, but then I was like, it's definitely not better than Fake Tales, so I got to go by the book here. I got to give it lower. 1.8, I think is what I'm going to give it.
What is the lowest score I gave?
The lowest score you gave? I don't know, man.
You've given out 5
Yeah.
this whole time.
A 3 for Fake Tales.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So what do you got, Will? What's yours?
Because I was like, I do like this more than Fake Tales, actually.
I think you should go last. Manny, what do you think? Will's still thinking this over.
We'll ponder this. Okay, so I'm gonna give it a 3.5. Okay. The reason that it's higher, because I hear what you're saying, Jared, and that it's not a very long song, and it's almost not even really like a song. It's like this little snippet in between those faster songs. But the reason that it ranks so highly for me is because it's like one of the first, when you think of like, songs like Cornerstone or anything that Alex has done, like, that's slower, like the Submarine albums, like stuff like that. Like this was the first, like his first thing of that, in that realm, If not, like listen to every other song on this album, and it's all like pop punk rock, like it's not the same thing. And so the fact that this is the first time we're seeing kind of like his vulnerable side instead of like this angry, fast paced version of the Arctic Monkeys, get like this slowed down version, and I don't think you necessarily get that. You don't get your Cornerstones or your Pile Driver waltzes and things like that without a song like this. So for that, I'm gonna give it a 3.5 because it was the first for a lot of us.
That was a great answer, actually. I was thinking about the 3.5 range too. I just wanted to give more thought into it. But literally the same exact reasons. That it's like one of those songs, like, and it's the first song where he slows down. So it's like, okay. And it's nice because think about like if you're hearing this performance live and you hear like a lot of the fast paced songs, and then this song comes on, it's like, okay, nice. I get to breathe a little bit. I get to like calm down a little bit, and then there could be another banger coming on, but this song will be like that song where it's like that palate cleanser where it's like, okay. And it's nice because it shows that they're not just not one pop punk or garage rock. It shows that they can break out a little bit and like show diversity and everything. So that's why I would say it's higher than like just a 3, and it gives you that 3.5.
Sorry.
And I just like the calmness of it, really.
3.5.
Like, yeah. I like songs that can calm me down because I have really high anxiety, unfortunately. So this song like calms me down. It helps a lot.
Yeah.
Brendan's
arrived, guys. He was a good boy today. Cool. So we got rankings in there. Guys, that was a pretty goddamn good episode. That was good. We have arrived to the what have we been listening to section of the episode. Do you guys have anything off the top of your head? Because I don't just yet. So whoever does, you go first.
I'll go first then. I really wanted to share Bourne's. It took me a minute to figure out how it's pronounced.
Love him.
Yeah. What's funny, Jared, is that I was gonna send you a song, but like, yo, check this out. Oh, this is like Jared coded. Like this is the stuff Jared loves. And I was like, wait. I went back in between me and Jared's texts, and I was like, oh shit, he sent me this before.
Yeah.
It was Faded Heart.
Oh,
I was like,
it.
oh yeah,
Such
we gotta
a
listen to
good
that in the
song.
car, please. Fucking yeah, I love that song. But he's great. Sometimes it sounds like a girl singing, which is like crazy.
I
Like
know.
how high pitched she
Yeah.
can go. And
There's
sometimes
that
I
one
forget
song, The
listening to a
Electric
guy.
Love. I always thought Electric Love was a female until I like figured that out.
And past lives too. Sometimes it sounds like a girl singing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a really nice voice, and like the music's just a vibe to listen to. So check out Borns, Bor. Like the O is like the little slash through it. But yeah, pretty cool artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one. So I was listening when I got home. I just put on like a playlist, and it naturally just started playing The Strokes eventually, right? And then afterwards, this band came on. It was through Spotify. Never heard of them before, but it was recommended because I was listening to The Strokes, and it did sound like something in that realm, and it was just a really cool song. The band is called Inhaler. Do you guys know them at all?
I've definitely heard of them. I just don't know off the top of my head their
Okay.
stuff.
Inhaler.
Yeah, it's not
Heard
a
of
band
them.
that I've ever heard of before this, but the song that came on is A Night on the Floor. Really, really good. I'm going to go back and listen to that when I have some time and then kind of check out some of their other tracks. But yeah, so maybe that's something you guys can look into as well. Inhaler, A Night on the Floor, it's called.
Okay, you'll have to give that a listen. I've been big on a band called the Lemon Twigs recently. Well, for a while. They came out with an album called Everything Harmony, and it's fucking gorgeous. Like, they're the closest thing to the Beatles today, in my opinion, without sounding too much like a classic band to the point where it's cringe. Like, they do it so well, and they sound like they came out of the 70s, but they were remastered to modern day technology. That's what they sound like. Thanks, Brendan. Their vocalist has very high vocals, which works with it. So many catchy songs by them. It's incredible, and they're just releasing an album coming out soon as well. Again, they pump albums out like crazy now. I think they finally caught the indie scene, which is awesome. They have a song called off of their Everything Harmony album called What Happens to a Heart. Yeah, Brendan doesn't want to hear about this. Let's take our first dog break of the day right at the end here. Anyway, yeah, there's a song called What Happens to a Heart on that album that's just absolutely fucking incredible. Orchestra and everything. So the band called the Lemon Twigs, guys, give them a listen. They're very indie, very alternative, right up the alley. And that's what we got. Did we got anything? Did we forget anything? I feel like we didn't. But that was a good episode, guys.
Yeah, that was fun.
Good shit.
Good one.
Yeah. Guys, again, please rate and review on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube. Leave comments. If you do like our stuff on Instagram, please shoot us a follow. I know there's 4.9 thousand of you viewing the page. So please give us a follow. It really does go a long way. We appreciate each and every one of you. And we will see you next week. We will be out with a bonus episode this Friday as well. And as usual, we love you. Mwah.
Damn.
Hey guys, it's Jared here. Thank you so much for listening to the episode. You can find us on all our socials at Karma and Tranquility, and Twitter, Karma and Tranquil. Our link trees are posted in every single description on every social, so you can access everything that we have to offer. And we will see you every Wednesday for our normal episodes and every Friday for a bonus episode.